In a burst of fury, I lashed out, claiming he could never protect me. Those words, born from exasperation and a fleeting moment of rage, spilled from my lips with a sharpness I didn't fully grasp. They weren't mere words. They were a raw, piercing echo of the insecurity buried deep within me. As they escaped, they lingered in the air, heavy with defiance, as if daring him to prove me mistaken. I never imagined he'd take them to heart. Now alone, I'm consumed by regret for every syllable I uttered. It all began with a petty argument, the kind we often had, minor disputes that spiraled into something far larger than they deserved. He'd said something, though the details escape me now, that ignited a spark of frustration within me. Perhaps it was the weight of life's pressures or the persistent sense of being overlooked, but I lost control. "Why do you never step up?" I yelled. "Why am I always left to deal with everything? You can't even keep me safe when it counts." He stood motionless, his eyes wide with shock, as if I'd struck him. But it wasn't a physical blow. It was something far worse. An accusation, a challenge, a proclamation of my distrust. At first he said nothing, his silence a heavy weight as he seemed to grapple with my words. His face paled, the color draining slowly. For a fleeting moment, I thought he might respond, perhaps defend himself, offer an apology, or explain. Instead, he did the unexpected. He turned and walked away. I didn't call after him. I didn't say I was sorry. I didn't even try to stop the door as it closed behind him. For hours, I stood frozen, my words reverberating in my mind, their harshness and finality cutting deeper each time I replayed them. It wasn't until much later that the gravity of what I'd done sank in, the realization of what I'd pushed him toward. Lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, the silence of our home, once comforting, now felt like a vice tightening around me. He was gone, and I was left alone with the crushing burden of my own words. Nearly 2 days passed before he returned. He didn't announce his arrival or call ahead. He simply appeared while I sat at the kitchen table, lost in my thoughts. His eyes were different, distant, guarded, unnervingly quiet. He stood there, gazing at me, before speaking. "I've packed my things. I'm staying with a friend for a while." My heart plummeted. I wanted to plead, to beg, to tell him I didn't mean it, but the words lodged in my throat. He didn't seem angry or even sad, just resigned, as if he'd already accepted the end. I tried to speak, but all that emerged was a fractured whisper. "Please don't go." But he did. He turned, walked to the door, and left without another word. A week has passed, and the silence in the house is unbearable. I keep reliving that moment, wishing I could retract every word I spoke. I see now the pain in his eyes, the hurt I was blind to in the moment, but can't unsee now. The way he left, not with rage but with a quiet acceptance, shattered me. He hasn't called or texted. He's gone, and I'm left with nothing but remorse. I swore I'd never do this, never push him away, never let anger consume me. Yet I did. I let it overtake me, and now I'm the one bearing the cost. I think of all he did for me, how he stood by me in my darkest times, listened when I needed to be heard, ensured I felt secure even when I didn't ask. But I couldn't see it then. I couldn't recognize that his love was my shield, not a flaw. I recall how he'd hold me after a rough day, his embrace steady and warm, his voice calm and reassuring, promising he'd always be there. But that night, I drove him away. I pushed until he broke. Sleep has eluded me since he left. Each time I close my eyes, I see his face, the hurt in his gaze, the finality of his departure. I don't know how to mend this, or if I even can. I've tried calling, texting, but there's no reply. I'm forced to confront the possibility that he's done, that he's moved on, and that I've lost him forever because of my own actions. If you're reading this and you've ever spoken words in anger you didn't mean, heed my warning. Words carry weight. They hold power to destroy what you cherish most if you're careless. In the heat of the moment, you might believe you can take them back, but you can't. Once spoken, they shape your reality. I didn't mean what I said, but I said it. Now I lie alone in the bed we once shared, haunted by my own voice and the emptiness where he used to be. If you love someone, fight for them. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't let anger or frustration guide your choices, because the words we speak in a moment of rage can leave the deepest wounds. I regret what I said that night with every fiber of my being.